So somebody said to me a while ago, before I even started this channel, that when I was making a SIGFIG, I should pick parts that exist. Well, I chose to completely ignore that fact, and then when it came to making a SIGFIG, I then found out the hard way why they said that to me at the beginning. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the fact that my SIGFIG was unique. Nobody else could have my figure because of how unique the figure was, using a custom torso as well as a recolored face. And that leads me to this video. 4 months ago, I decided I wanted my own version of my SIGFIG for live action stuff that I plan on doing in the future, and just to generally have one. And this video here is to show you how difficult that process was, and then show you the final product at the end, with also a giveaway of one. So if you're excited for that, stay tuned to the end of the video. First thing I did was obviously discuss it with people. I discussed it with my missus and I discussed it with my friends to see whether this was actually a good idea or whether I was going crazy, as I don't know what it's like to make a custom minifigure actually go from concept to real life. I ended up doing a few renders. Obviously my SIGFIG is already made, I don't need any of the decals or anything, but I did make a few concepts of what I would like the packaging to look like, as well as a brand name which I thought was really cool, and I eventually went with BrickTubers as I wanted to one day get other people involved, opening the doors for possibilities in the future. I also knew that I wanted to make a few of these in case people wanted to actually buy them off of my website and actually do an official piece of merch. So I asked the Discord and my Instagram if people would actually be interested in buying a Tommy C minifigure, and enough people said yes to the point where I decided I'm going to make a few of these and make it a limited time run, so there's only going to be about 25 in this first wave, and this variant of myself will never be made again. And having other opportunities to make new variants of myself as well as other YouTubers in the future. Designed to feel like a premium product and a collectible rather than just buying a minifigure of somebody that you like. So I knew I wanted it to come in a box, have a nice plaque, maybe have a certificate of authenticity kind of thing. And that's exactly what I did. Just wanted to throw out there that I'm going to be video processing this. And this is the torso that I've gone for. I've got a bag. 25 of them here, and yes, they are front and back printed, and I have to remove them. I've already done a test on a torso. I think this was an Emmett torso, just to test to see if I can get rid of the print, and I'm able to. I tried nail polish. I don't like the way that looks, so I'm trying the eraser method, so it's going to take a while, but it's going to be worth it. Now, when I was buying the parts, I really underestimated how rare the sand green torso was going to be, it only being available in some figures, and all of them being relatively expensive. So the parts alone were incredibly difficult to get, and thankfully I found a few stores that had multiple of the part in, so instead of me having to order from like 5 or 6 different stores, I only had to order from about 3, which was really handy, because I know that the shipping costs would have been really expensive if I started ordering from different countries, as that's where the price can really add up. When the parts turned up, it was really cool, because I finally could make myself a SIGFIG. Okay, after that ordeal, managed to get a torso that I deemed clear. Granted, it had no printing yet, but I could obviously make it and find out what it's going to look like, but the main problem was that I had to take off the printing of those sand green torsos. Because I had picked the one from the Atlantis sets, they came with front and back printing, which was really annoying. And the reason it was annoying is because I didn't want to use chemicals like acetone or nail polish to remove the prints, as this can damage the parts. Lego is made of an ABS plastic, and if you don't know, acetone melts ABS plastic. So when it came to using things like acetone or nail polish having acetone in it, I decided not to use any chemicals in removing these prints, and instead used what people call online as the eraser method, where you take a pencil eraser and you just go to town on the part, and eventually the print will come off. Now, I saw this in multiple videos. I did a lot of research into seeing what the best way would be to remove these prints, and the eraser method was certainly the more time consuming and more effort way of doing things, but it means that I didn't have to use chemicals, which is essentially what I wanted to do at the end of the day. So only being able to do about 4 an hour, because it was a front and back side in printing, you can imagine that these 25 torsos took a lot of time. But after I had these torsos done, the excitement really started to kick in, because I could build the figure with no printing and actually see it starting to come together as a Tommy C SIGFIG. After all these figures were done, I put out a teaser to the Discord saying that these figures were in the process of being made, and everybody went absolutely crazy knowing that these things were finally being produced and made. Then the hardest part came. I had to find a company that was good enough to print these 25 figs and make them perfect every time. Obviously, I did some research for about a week looking into different things and ordering a few samples just to see if I could find something that would work for these SIGFIGs. Unfortunately, buying from a few big companies just made me realise that it's not worth doing it from these big companies, and maybe going with somebody a bit smaller and doing it privately. And then finally, I stumbled across a company which would be perfect for this kind of thing. I reached out to them, got a price for the 25 figs, and I sent them off to him, and then the waiting began. They got to him in around 2 weeks as he lives in the US and I live in the UK, and I started getting photos back and I was getting really excited because these figures looked really, really cool. So he then sent them back to me, and then the dreaded happened. 2 weeks passed by, no figs. 3 weeks passed by, no figs. 5 weeks passed by, no figs. I was beginning to get pretty worried, to the point where I sent an email to him saying that they hadn't turned up yet, but he assured me that it usually takes this amount of time anyway, so we'll hold out and we'll hope that they eventually turn up. 7 weeks go by. I get a knock at the door. The figures turn up. Faith had been restored, and I finally got these minifigures out of the packaging and looked at them for the first time, and I loved them. And then it came to the packaging. I obviously did a mock-up, and you saw at the start of this video, of what I kind of wanted the packaging to look like, so I ended up doing a final version of that exact packaging, making a brand new logo, taking that one that I shared on Instagram to the next level, and all of it being built in studio, then rendered out via Blender, and then put on to the packaging, making the product feel more hand-built as well as more collectible. I even did a nice little blurb about myself, but if you want to read that, you're going to have to wait for somebody to either release it or pick one up yourself, because I feel like it's a cool little blurb that I don't particularly want to share right here. And then headed to a local print store where they managed to print that front and back, so I can insert it straight into the packaging and know it's going to fit in the box exactly, which was really, really helpful. Then all I had to do was put it together. I put it all together, I signed all of the back of all 25 of them, and I numbered them 1 to 25. As like I said in the beginning portion of the video, I really wanted to give like a certificate of authenticity that you own an official Tommy C minifigure, and obviously there is an edition number, so some people might have number 1, some people might have number 25. They don't really mean anything, it's just knowing that you've got an official 1 to 25 of the first edition minifigures. Like I say, it's all about that premium feel. Obviously, this minifigure is number 1 in the line of BrickTubers. It is also labelled 18+ as a joke to LEGO, as they've released an umpteen amount of 18+ sets recently, and my channel not exactly being tailored towards children, just a fun little joke. And these are available on my website to buy, alongside some of my instructions, as releasing today after when this video goes live is the minifigures, as well as my fluffy instructions that I have a video coming out later on in the week. Like I say, there are only 25 of these figures available, so they are a super limited run. I'm giving one away, which means there's only 24 left. And I just want to throw out there that this will be the only time I will do this variant of myself. All of the rest of them that I do plan on doing in the future will be different. They're a super limited time thing, so if you do want one, I'd head over to the website now and just take a look to see if they're still available. And the link will be in the description for that. But don't worry if they're not available, I am actually doing a giveaway of one of these figures to a very lucky person, and all you have to do to enter that giveaway is make sure you are subscribed and leave a comment below saying what you think of the BrickTubers line and maybe who I should do next. Legally, I have to say that this giveaway has nothing to do with YouTube, it's all being hosted by myself. The giveaway ends in a week from now, and I will be announcing it on my community post, so if you are not subscribed and have all the notifications on, please make sure they are turned on, because I will be announcing it there as well as on Instagram. I will of course be reaching out to you and verifying that it is you, so keep an eye on the community post as well as my Instagram across the next week. I'm very, very excited to announce BrickTubers, and obviously obviously this is being the first piece of merch that I'm doing. Look forward to more pieces of merch coming in the future, as well as more BrickTubers with other YouTubers. Like I say in the comments, write who you want me to do as the next BrickTuber, or write the variant of me that you would like next. Maybe medieval Tommy C, maybe space Tommy C, we'll see what happens. And like I say, every comment that you put in here, as long as you're subscribed, you'll be entered into the giveaway for this official first edition Tommy C minifig. Or you can get one from the website, listed in the description below. But thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope you found it interesting. I have a lot more of these sort of live action-y type videos planned for the future, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, as well as the normal stuff you expect to see on this channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button anyway, and I will speak to you guys in the next video. Goodbye.